What is going on, everyone? It's Ted Carr here, and today we're going to be going over how I'm eating right now as a full-time entrepreneur. And the reason I want to make this video is because when I was training for triathlon full-time, I was known as the guy who was eating 100% raw. I was eating just fruit, some greens, very small amount of veggies, and very, very small amount of nuts and seeds. And I made hundreds and hundreds of videos over like the course of 10 years or so showing how I was eating this way and training this way. And things have changed, so I want to make an update video and let you know how when I shifted to becoming a full-time entrepreneur about a year ago, I really felt like I needed to make a shift. And it's funny, here's a picture of me on stage in the UK, and I have a slide behind me saying why the thoughts you think matter more than the food you eat. And it's a really good message to remember. The thoughts you think really do matter more than the food you eat, because the thoughts you think are going to determine the food you eat. So in this video, I want to talk about how I really felt like I needed to start putting less attention on food and more attention on my business. And I know this might sound silly, but I just wanted to be able to have a bunch of food on hand that was always ready to eat, that was filling, and the food that would keep for long periods of time. So I didn't like, and I still don't like, having to go do grocery shopping all the time and run errands all the time. I just want to be able to sit down and focus on my business and do this full time without distractions. And I didn't want to keep thinking about like, oh, this food's underripe and this food's overripe, and I need to have some food that's like just right in the middle. I just wanted to be able to stock up and eat a bunch of food and then get back to work, not have to worry about ripeness levels. And again, this might sound silly to someone who's not trying to treat entrepreneurship full time, or they're not trying to take it as seriously as I am. But when you're trying to take it super, super seriously, you can't really have any outside distractions, and like ripeness levels is one of them. So at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about how I'm going to overcome this and how I'm going to get back on the raw horse, so to speak. But that's at the end of the video. So for now, let's just get into an overview of how I'm eating right now. So before noon, so basically in the morning, if I'm going to have anything at all, I'll have my vitamins and my minerals. Then around noon, I'll have a big meal of raw food. Then in the evening, I'll have either more raw food or I'll have some cooked food. That's a basic overview of how I eat. Okay. So in the morning, when I say vitamins and minerals, I also mean some quote unquote superfoods, if you will. So I have my lion's mane mushroom in the morning, and this is really good for cognition. It's really good for brain. It's really good for preventing Alzheimer's, which can run in my family. Next, I take some ashwagandha, which is really well known for boosting testosterone, really well known for balancing hormones, really well known for easing anxiety and helping with focus and relaxation. The next is Daily Green Boost, and I absolutely love Daily Green Boost. In fact, if you want some, you can go to tedcarboost.com. That's tedcarboost.com. You can actually get 10% off there. I take Daily Green Boost every day as a mineral supplement. It's got an amazing amount of alkaline minerals in there, and it's just one ingredient. It's organic barley grass juice powder that's been dehydrated. And you just rehydrate it by adding water, and boom, you have some juice. So highly recommend that, and I've been taking that every day. And next, I take a B12, simple B12 supplement. Boom, pop it under the tongue. Next, I take a vitamin D. It's vitamin D3 specifically, and yes, it's vegan. Everything I take is vegan. So make sure it's vitamin D3 though if you're going to take one. I forgot to mention, add the 3 on there. And then lastly, I take a little bit of iodine every few days. I don't take it every single day. I take one little drop every few days. Okay, just because I've been tested in the past and I was a little bit low on that. And I just thought it wouldn't hurt to add a little bit of iodine into my morning concoction. So I usually add all of this stuff into a cup, stir it up, drink it back. Or vitamin D and B12, I just pop it in my mouth. But that's it. And then around noon, I'll have some raw foods. Now, depending on the season, I'm going to eat some of what's on the screen. When certain things are in season, I'm going to go super hard on them. When they're not so much in season, I'm going to back off. So for example, on here, you don't really see like peaches and nectarines, but when they're in season, I go ham on them. It's like all I eat for days and days and days. But for the most part, throughout the year, I'll eat something like this. I'll have a bunch of dates. These are dried dates that I've added water to and I've soaked and I blended them up. So I don't like to eat dried food, but I'll buy dried food and then rehydrate it. So I have dates, I have bananas, I have avocados, I have oranges, I like to have melons, specifically honeydew, cantaloupe, watermelon. I have a lot of grapes. I love persimmons. You can eat those for months. Mangoes, can eat mangoes for days and days and days and days. I'll eat a lot of apples, although they don't digest the best for me, so I'm like probably gonna cut those out. But I do love apples; they are very, very enjoyable. If I do keep eating apples, which hopefully I do, because I do love them, maybe I'll only stick to like one a day. But if I eat a lot of apples, they just don't seem to digest that well for me. They kind of come out the other end just as they come in chunks. Maybe I need to chew them more. I don't know, but I do love apples. Maybe I should just make apple juice and drink that instead. Cherries, love eating a lot of cherries. Obviously, those need to be in season. And then same with berries. I do eat berries, but those are usually frozen. In the summer, though, I'll buy like 10, 20, 30 pounds of blueberries and eat just blueberries for a few days. And then durian. I love to eat durian. It is expensive, but it is delicious and enjoy it every time. And then greens. I like to eat a lot of greens like spinach and romaine lettuce. And then my favorite vegetable that I eat raw is celery. Okay, so that's it. Like that's the gist. And yeah, I'll have some other fruits if they're delicious, but this is like when I wrote down this list, I'm like, okay, what are the main things I'm eating right now? And this is it. Okay. Obviously, I love papayas as well, but I don't eat those as often as I'd like to here in Canada. As far as the cooked food goes, here are some of the staples. I like to have oats. These are typically instant oats, although I know I should probably have the rolled oats. I'm having the instant oats because they're so freaking convenient. And with my oats, I just have, take some instant oats, I add some maple syrup on top, maybe a little bit of coconut nectar or whatever, add some boiling water and a little bit of sea salt, and done. Simple meal. Quinoa. I just add quinoa into the Instant Pot, add a little bit of sea salt and some veggies on top, and done. Super, super simple. I don't need to add any sauce or any toppings or anything besides just plain steamed veggies. Same thing with buckwheat. I'll make buckwheat like I make my quinoa. Same thing rice. I just make the rice like I make the quinoa. Just add a bunch of veggies on top. Don't need any tomato sauce or anything like that. Just a little bit of sea salt and some veggies. Some sweet potatoes as well. I like to add some tofu in there as well sometimes. And then rutabaga. I love that as a steamed veggie. Same with turnips, carrots, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, peas, and then steamed greens as well. And then steamed mushrooms or boiled mushrooms are really, really delicious. So that's it. That's it. I do also occasionally have some millet and some amaranth, but for the most part, you're looking at the staple foods as far as the cooked foods go. So it's like the raw food plus this stuff right here. And then any other veggies that come up, I may have forgotten, but if they taste great, I'll add them. I'll show you what I stay away from as well in the next few slides here. So here's some other stuff I do eat. I do add some hemp seeds for the omega-3s. And like I said, sea salt. I have some miso soup every now and then, especially when it gets cold. I'll have almond milk. I'll have maple syrup. I'll have coconut nectar, and I'll drink some coconut water, quite a bit. So those are some of the other things I added in there. And of course, there's other things I can't remember right now, but these are just like the gist of things I've been eating lately. At the very start of the slide, I said what I'm eating right now because things can change. Like 2 months ago, I wasn't having any almond milk or maple syrup. It's just kind of something I've added in. So things can slowly change, but for the most part, it has stayed the same. Fruit in the morning, some cooked food in the evening. Super simple. Some things I avoid. Oils. I don't cook with olive oil or coconut oil or anything like that. No oils whatsoever. I try my best to stay away from tomatoes, although I do love them. I do not feel that they're the healthiest for me for various reasons. I should do a whole nother video just on tomatoes, but I do stay away from tomatoes as nightshades. Same with peppers. Tried to stay away from peppers, although I do love them. I also stay away from fats and sugars mixed. So when I'm having almond milk, for example, I don't want to mix almond milk with maple syrup because almonds are high fat, maple syrup is high sugar. I don't want to mix avocados with dates. Avocados are avocados are high fat, dates are high sugar. So I stay away from that. Last summer, a couple summers ago, I think I mixed like mame sapote, which is super high sugar, with avocados. And it was unbelievably delicious, but digested terribly. Okay, so I avoid those. I also avoid spicy foods. I do not see the thrill in eating spicy foods anymore. As a kid, I did. I was like, oh, it's so exciting, spicy foods. But now it's like, it's such a distraction. Like now I have to deal with sweating and I have to deal with like spicy food in my mouth. It just takes me away from just eating the meal and moving on. Beet juice. When I drink beet juice, my throat gets scratchy and I feel a bit nauseous in my stomach. I do not enjoy beet juice. Onions, garlic. I try and stay away from those. They make my breath stink and my underarms stink as well, quite a bit more than they already do. So I stay away from those. Gluten. I do not F with gluten. I do not think it's necessary at all. I'm a big fan of gluten-free foods. gluten just increases inflammation and messes with the mood. So I haven't touched gluten since I was like 18 years old. Gluten-free for longer than I've been vegan even. And protein powders. I do not see the need for protein powders. I will have like a scoop occasionally just to use it up because I bought so much a while ago, but like they do not digest well for me at all. So when I do have a scoop of protein powder, I take like a quarter of a scoop. I'm like just adding it to my water in the morning just to ease it up. But I don't take protein powder to get the protein. I'm just taking it to like get some calories. In fact, I probably should just give it away as a gift. Give away some used bags of protein powders to some friends or family members. Anyways, these are just some of the things I avoid. And obviously I avoid animal products and things like that. I also avoid honey. Forgot to add that to the list. And yeah, I've also avoided white sugar. I'd rather have coconut sugar or coconut nectar or maple syrup. I also avoid dried fruit, eating dried fruit. I'd rather soak it, rehydrate it. And yeah, some few other things I avoid. I can't remember right now, but this is a good list right here. And then things I optimize for. Optimize for ethics. Number one, I don't want any harm done to the animals or insects. As little harm done to insects as possible and animals as possible. And I say as possible because, like, look, every time I drive in my car, in fact, anytime I go for a walk, I step on insects, I kill them. Anytime I go for a drive, I'm killing bugs. They're flying into my windshield, and my front grill of my car is just smoking them. Like I'm definitely doing harm to insects every day, unknowingly or unintentionally. I guess I know it, but I'm doing it unintentionally. It's hard to avoid. But I want to do as little or to no harm to animals or insects as possible with my food. Next is I want to optimize for sustainability. So I want to be buying more local food and less foods like palm oils, which are like destroying the forest and the rainforest and the planet really. I also optimize for convenience. I think it's possible to optimize for ethics, sustainability, and convenience at the same time. So for convenience, I want to just be able to go to my local shop, like just up the street, or local farmers market just up the street, and buy a bunch of stuff that's going to keep for a while. So things like hemp seeds, they grow those in Canada and they store for a long time. Things like oats, those can be grown locally and they store for a long time. Things like quinoa and things like rice and things like this, they can keep for a long, long time. Super, super convenient. As far as speed goes, I want to spend no more than 10 minutes. I set a timer for this too. I set a timer and I prep everything in like less than 5 minutes. All I got to do is throw stuff in the Instant Pot, chop stuff up, throw it in the Instant Pot. Done. That's 5 minutes of prepping. And then once it's cooked, once it's cooked and I eat it, I want to spend less than 5 minutes cleaning it up. So total time spent on the meal, aside from eating it, is 10 minutes. 10 minutes to prep it. Sorry, 5 minutes to prep it, 5 minutes to clean it up. Done. It should not take longer than that. And deliciousness. Like I want to enjoy every bite. And for me, I love simple foods. Like for me, just a bowl of quinoa with a little bit of salt on it, done. Super, super easy. Now, obviously, a bowl of fruit is going to be way more delicious, but in terms of the cooked food, I can consider something delicious if it's really simple, just like a bowl of brown rice with some salt on it. Done. Don't need it to be crazy spicy or complex. But of course, a bowl of fruit is much more delicious, and I do enjoy that even more. I also want to optimize for digestion. So that's why I don't have the protein powders or many other powders. I just want to optimize for digestion. In other words, I don't have any gas. I want to be able to eat the meal and feel amazing and not have any gas throughout the day. To me, that's like perfect digestion. If I'm getting gas from a food, it's not digesting well. Or maybe I'm combining it wrong. Maybe I'm having too many fats with the sugars. So I steer clear of that. But I want to optimize for good digestion. I want to optimize for deliciousness. I want to optimize for speed, convenience, sustainability, and ethics. Okay. In the near future, I'll probably have a raw food chef come over and just make me everything, which means I'll probably go back to eating 90 to 100% raw. Because yes, I do feel better on 100% raw. I just love the convenience of the cooked food. And now that I'm making way more money than I could have ever imagined possible before, I can now afford a raw food chef. I have a maid right now, but she can't really prepare raw foods for me in the way I want someone to prepare raw foods for me. So she can clean the house, but I need someone else to actually make the raw foods for me, like big salads and juices and smoothies and things like that. So that's coming in the near future. which I'm excited about because that'll mean I'll be able to go back to eating 90 to 100% raw. I can do that now. Yes, for sure. No excuses, right? But it takes away from my business. I don't want to be spending much time doing anything other than my work. I have a big business I'm building right now, and I can't be bothered to worry about ripeness levels and all this prep. So, and chopping and grow, and having to compost and the works. Raw foods, it's convenient in the sense that I can just grab it and eat it. But other times I have to go shopping. I gotta wait for ripeness levels. I have to do the compost. I have to just go buy it regularly. That's like the biggest thing. Just keep buying it regularly. Keep stocking up, and making sure it's always ready to, and to make sure it's high quality as well. You can't have low quality fruit and enjoy it. The thing about raw foods is that, and fruits is like, yeah, you can have some 10 out of 10 amazing fruits. You can have some 9 out of 10 amazing fruits, 8 out of 10 amazing fruits, even 7 out of 10 amazing fruits. But once you start getting into like the 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 range and below, so it's not worth eating. It's like, this is not enjoyable. But cooked foods, all cooked foods are pretty much, like, for me, 100% of the time, always 7 out of 10. It's always, maybe even 7.5 out of 10. They're like always good. Like 100% of the time, 7.5 out of 10. So with fruit, even though fruit can be like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, deliciousness and amazing, it's not super consistent, or at least it hasn't been over the past 10 years since I've been eating it. So I would love to get a raw food chef to come in here and make me food that is ethical, sustainable, convenient, fast, delicious, and doesn't result in poor digestion. That'd be amazing. And also, 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 as frequently as possible. So anyways, that's coming in the near future. If you're wondering what to do right now, well, if you'd like some help going full-time yourself as an entrepreneur, if you want to be your own boss, you want to spread your message online, just visit tedcarclass.com to see the step-by-step on how to do it. And I will walk you through how to do it with automated webinars, with online courses, potentially getting started with ebooks as well, online coaching programs. If you want to do this, you can do it. You just need to know how. And tedcarclass.com will show you exactly how to do it. Just head over there. It's a completely free training, and you can learn how to do it. So that's that. I'm a bounce. Peace out. Much love. Adios. Thanks for watching.